Hi, this is Mike Wilson with Nova Real Estate Group. We're going to continue on with number 2 of the big 3 critical success factors for selling your home. And number 2 is shows. You've got to make sure that your house shows well. That's I don't know if it's the biggest one of the 3, pricing, showing, and marketing, but it is probably the biggest one that the homeowner, the seller, has most of the control over. So how well your house shows falls pretty much in your lap. So let's talk about some of the things that you can do and why it's important. First of all, this is an example of good curb appeal. The people, the owners of this property, have really taken the time with how the front of their house looks. That's curb appeal. And when you think about it, that's the very first impression that people get is when they drive up to the house. Actually, in today's world, the very first impression is when they drive up to the house online. So really, it's when they see the photos. So today, what we're thinking about for showings is, yes, how well does the house look? What's the curb appeal? What's it look like inside? Things like this. But the very first impact is how good are the photos? So those go hand in hand, but we're thinking about it a little bit more broadly these days. But of course, curb appeal is one of the things that's critical in showing. And while that won't necessarily sell a house, it can be a big component of it. But if you don't have it, it can be a fatal flaw. Your potential buyer may just drive on by. And as I said, actually the very first impression people get is when they see a property online. So it's important to have the house look good, but certainly look good on photo day. So you take care of the outside of the house, you take care of the inside of the house, you make sure that your photos look good, and you're off to a good start. And there's a lot involved in making sure that your house shows well. And one of the sayings that we use a lot is pretty houses sell, and other houses either sell slowly or don't sell at all. It would take too long to go into great amount of detail about all of the things that goes into making sure that a house shows well. It's almost a science in itself, this part of the process. But I'll boil it down to a couple of key bullet points here, if you will. The first one is curb appeal. Curb appeal and photo appeal, if you will, because people don't drive up to your house first. They find your house online. They see the outside, they see the inside. Oftentimes they'll see a virtual tour, etc. But it does all start with curb appeal. So location, location, location is the byline for real estate. For the seller, you've already got a house. You can't change the location. So it starts with how nice can you make your house? How close to the pretty house ideal can you get to entice the buyers? And it does start with curb appeal. So the lawn, the landscaping, if you have it, at least putting down good mulch, putting in flowers, trimming the trees, those types of things that you can manage and you can manage ahead of time, those do make a difference. And they're some of the first things that do make a difference. Another one is marketable finish. And we talk about this a little bit differently than a lot of agents. And the reason that I talk about it as marketable finish is that for any property in any area, if you are trying to be the best house on the block, that's not necessarily, that's a good thing. It's a good thing to go to strive for, but that's not necessarily the best thing. For example, if the area supports high-end kitchen refinishing, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and expensive flooring, that type of a thing, high-end cabinets, then to be able to compete in that area, in that location, you pretty much have to have those things in order to get top dollar for your property. It's okay if you don't, but that's kind of the comparison that you would make. Not all areas support that. There are a lot of areas that don't support high-end finishes. So a marketable finish in another area may be not granite countertops, maybe corian or maybe even Formica countertops. But in those areas, if it's consistent with the area, then those finishes in good condition that tastefully done look nice, those are compatible with the area. Those are marketable in that area. So the thing that we look for is not, do you have the best that money can buy in a particular house, but do you have marketable finishes consistent with the neighborhood, consistent with the comparable properties. And if you don't, and if everybody has granite countertops and stainless steel and you don't have that, then that's something to consider. And there are some areas in the house where those things are worth the investment, and there are other areas in the house that do not return the invested money as readily. Kitchens and bathrooms tend to be areas where bringing it up to at least a marketable finish level, a comparable finish level, usually does pay dividends. But not every area in the house is like that. So again, that one, there's an entire science around that, so I won't go into any more detail, but things to think about. So curb appeal, marketable finish, and again, I'm going to come back to photos. Photos and virtual tours, videos, those are some of the biggest marketing tools, the most powerful marketing tools that we have. So dress up for photos. You would dress up for photos if you were going to have a portrait. So do it the same thing for your house. We always use a professional photographer on every single listing that we do. It makes a difference. We want the house in the best possible light. It's imperative that it shows well, and we should give it the best opportunity to do so. So there are a lot of things that go into making the house look nice, but especially on photo day. That's going to translate into the house looking the best that it possibly can the very first time potential buyers see it. And overall, and you may have gotten this as a theme from us if you've listened to very much of my, or watched very many of my videos and listened to me much, we have a goal focused strategy around showing, just like we do around all of the critical selling success factors. And this one's no different. And that's why we like to get engaged early with homeowners and start talking about things that can be done, curb appeal things, marketable finish things, photos, talking through the process and how that's going to work so people can get started and make their house show the best that it possibly can at the right time for potential buyers. So how do you get started? A couple of ideas. One is I've got a free ebook. If you don't see the form on this page, our videos go a lot of places. Usually I try and have a form. The ebook will be called Increasing Your Home's Value or something similar. So look for that and look for the form. We usually just ask for an email address and we'll send that to you free, but it has a lot of good ideas. I think there's 7 or 8 different things in there. Some of them are small things that you can do for easily yourself for low money. Other things are a little bit bigger, but they're all designed to help you increase the value of your home the most for the least amount of a time and money. And then another piece of advice on getting started is when you do find the need for repairs or upgrades, remember the marketable finish concept, start those early. So give yourself plenty of time. Again, that's why we like to engage with homeowners early in the process and have them contact us early so that they can get professional opinions very early in the process. Give yourselves the time to succeed. And the last thing that I would mention is a staging professional. That's just part of our team. House staging, staging for showings, is its own market now. It used to be a kind of ideas and good ideas, but now there are staging professionals, and we use them on our team as well, because this part of it, the showing the house, is so important, and it's very difficult for a homeowner or seller to get it right. There are some people that kind of have it in their genes to make the house look good, but one of the challenges for a homeowner is you're not trying to make it look good for you, you're trying to make it look good for the next person. And that's where a staging professional, kind of an independent third party, a cold eyes review, comes in. So they have the skills to make it look good, but also they have the experience to make it look good for the buyer, which is really the challenge. So contact us and let us help you out. If you have more questions, you can always just pick up the telephone. This is number 2 out of a 3-part series, the critical success factors for selling your home. So if you haven't seen part 1, look for it on this page. If you're watching this, you probably have already signed up for access to our library. If not, again, look for the form. There's going to be a form close by here. It doesn't cost you anything. So get access to all of the videos and more things that we offer in the library. And I will see you on the next segment.